Good morning, Internet. We are fixing to head to Albuquerque. Actually, we're going to go to Salida, Colorado, Taos, New Mexico, and then Albuquerque. Here's our new shop being built. We have 6 bays now instead of just the 2 that you see back there with the doors on still. Moving on up. And today is Tuesday, October 1st, 10 a.m. Temperatures have dropped nicely. It's like 50 degrees right now. It's like right on the edge of AC. We're going to go up 285 and up into the mountains. Up into the snow. Oh, snow. Actually, there's no snow up there now. Maybe up really, really high, but not where we're going to be trucking. You see me turn left, and you're going to pull your car right up to the line. That's one thing that can be an issue, is you're going to make a left turn or something like that, and there's nobody there, so you just start doing your maneuver, and then somebody goes flying right up there. Now kind of in a catch-22. Highway 285, we'll go to Salida, about 2.5 hours away, 133 miles. We have a plumbing supply load, is nice and light. Now we got 10,000 pounds. So we did it. Hang on a second, got a phone call. C470. Go on up into the mountains. That coffee tastes pretty good. That was my son calling me, interrupted my filming. But that's alright. You can do it anytime. Anyway, I got to did a 34-hour break, and then my daughter had a deal to go to in Denver. They didn't really have anybody to watch my granddaughter, and I'm like, well, they haven't sent them to work, so I'll take another day off, and then babysit her. My other daughter comes by, and then I get to hang out with my grandson as well, so it turned out to be pretty good. don't think I've ever done a video 285. There, does that sound better? Sorry about that. Anyway, I don't think I've ever done a video leaving Denver going up 285 till now. Is Morrison town limit? Turkey Creek Canyon. This highway gets a little brutal at 3 to 6 p.m. every day during the week. The speed limit drops, and then the cops kind of hang out. Speed limit drops to 45, which is what we're doing right now. We're only doing it because that's where we're maxed out at the moment. But this highway can get pretty treacherous in the winter time when you are northbound. This is an odd number highway, so it's a north-south highway, even though we're basically kind of like due west right now. But these curves, as you can see, if you're coming down and it's snow-packed and icy, it can, in a semi, it can be kind of whacked, which happens at times. I don't like it. These guys, they get up in front of you and then they just freaking hang there. Might have to initiate a luminosity. Put some high beams on that. So it's only 133 miles from our yard to our destination in Salida, Colorado. So normally that would take me 2 hours, but it's 2.5 hours because of what we're going through right now. Once we go over Kenosha Pass, we can kick her in the high gear. Pretty windy road. So yeah, coming down this mountain, or more so this highway, the last stretch coming into Denver is just like I-70. It's pretty constantly long downhill. But you throw in all these curves and you throw some snow and you've got some interesting driving. Up into the clouds. Anyway, we'll see you in a bit. Not much to see here, as you can tell, so we'll do some more filming when we get to some scenery. Hopefully we get to see, the colors are pretty awesome right now since we're going to be up in the mountains. Hopefully we get some good fall foliage Anyway, till then, see you in a bit. Okay. So, this is the next day. No. It's the same day. We just went poof, popped right out of the clouds and came into this. Which, I'll tell you, living up in the mountains, sometimes it'll be snowing in Denver and it'll be like this up in the mountains. Or it'll be like this in Denver and it'll be snowing up in the mountains. So it's kind of a trippy thing that you get to live with when you live at that altitude. You could have two different climates 100 miles away. Pretty awesome. Now, I didn't have my camera set up quite. I did, but then I didn't in time to catch the transition. It actually just, boom, there it was, popped right up onto me. Anyway, I forgot to mention when I was hanging out with my grandkids, it was like, one just turned 4, the other one turned 1. And we had the best time. It was so cool. Most of it was spent with Mila, my 4-year-old granddaughter, and then my other daughter, Sarah, had to go somewhere for like a little over an hour. She asked me if I could babysit my grandson. I'm like, absolutely. I'm already babysitting, so what the heck? So that was actually my first time to babysit him by himself. Well, without his mom being around, or so just me and my granddaughter, my grandson. Temperature's rising at 51 degrees, 52. Woohoo! Almost time to put the AC on. There's a hill up here called Crow Hill. It's a pretty good sized hill for southbound and northbound, actually. No problem when we're light like this, but it can be for an inexperienced driver. But I mean, it's pretty long, but I don't think that you can, maybe by the time you got your brakes too hot to where they start to fade, you would be down the hill. You'd already be down. So I don't think they have a runaway truck ramp there. I'm not sure, but we'll find out here shortly. Windshield washer fluid is low. It's alright, I carry a couple gallons with me. What I do in the summertime is I dilute it 50-50, but we don't do that in the wintertime. Slow down, I'm doing 40. I wonder what all this traffic is. I mean, here it is, 10:30 in the morning. And it's Tuesday. Don't you people have jobs? I mean, that truck was holding everybody up. As soon as he got to passing, he sped up. That's like they do on 287 out there, and you can't pass anybody. And so when you come into a town where you have 4-lane highway like this, they do is 30 miles an hour. They do 35. So for you to get around them, you really got to break the law. Then you get back out on the highway again, and they're doing 55, 56, and a 65. Clear that van. So the other day, I saw a camper going down the highway, and I'm like, wow, that thing looks pretty wild. Totally different than what I'm used to seeing on the highways. And I'm like, ooh, that's a neat camper. I wonder who makes that. I've never seen one like that. It was European. Apparently the guy and his wife transported their vehicle from Europe to the States, Estados Unidos, and turn the country that way. It's actually kind of cool, but that's why I'd never seen a camper like that before. Come on, little doggy. This road ends. I'm going to get in front of that dump truck because he has two styles of driving, really fast and really slow. Septic tank hauler. I used to deliver those with a boom, a knuckle boom. If some of these don't know it, what that is, you kind of get an idea just in the name itself. If you roll your finger up, that's how those work. That's why I call them knuckle booms, because it looks like knuckles, but it rolls up onto itself, and then you unroll it kind of, and then you got this boom. Works pretty good. Transfer station right there we just passed. I am going to have to I slide my curtain on the left. I slide it a little more than halfway up across my window, my driver's window, but I can leave enough to where I can see out my mirror, and to keep the sun from beating down you on the left-hand side. After a while, it's not going to turn out to be very good. I saw a picture of a truck driver one time where his whole left side was all jacked up from being in the sun behind that glass all the years he was driving. One time I was out there on a flat, I don't know, Highway 40 somewhere, and I had the curtain slid up pretty far because the sun was just like beating right in there. And the truck driver drives by me, and he goes, "Geez, quality, how the hell can you see? You need to pull that back so you can see other drivers." I go, "I see just fine." Because I have a mirror down there on my fender. Right there. So you can see everything coming at you from the left. So I would look at that, and if I really needed to look, I would, like, better for perception, I'd slide my curtain back a little bit. But I'm on a flat highway. I'm not changing any lanes. If I was changing lanes, I would look. But he got all upset. But that's all right. We'll get up here to Crow Hill here soon. I think it's Crow. So many different highways you keep in your head. I was going to move over, but I'll just wait a bit. There's not too many places you could, actually I don't think there's any, that you can pull over to get something to eat on this highway or drink, except for right here. You can see where that yellow orangish truck is parked on the side of the road right there. I want to get this lane too. Hopefully we can get the light just right. Yeah, right here you can park and get something to eat. So yeah, here's this 7% grade for 2 miles. So we got to have some people coming up here and not wanting to get behind me, so they'll violate. Funny thing is, sometimes they'll come rushing up and alongside of me to get in front of the truck. You got to get in front of the truck, and then they end up going slower than I do. We're steady 50 mile per hour, 1450 RPM, 10th gear, full Jake, no brakes, Ma. I'm going to have to get some windshield washer fluid in that thing. I don't want to listen to that all day. Only happens on the hills. So we're down to 45. I haven't touched the brakes at all. A little too slow. We're going to go to one position, get back up to 50, and then go full. Yeah, in the winter this hill could be pretty treacherous, but it's also south facing, so a lot of it will melt off. Gonna have to use the brakes. It's because we're coming into a town. Yeah, that was Crow Hill. town of Bailey, Colorado. Gotta watch the speedo. I'd like to get a little fishing in if possible, but it's not going to be much. It's going to be bam bam, wham bam. Because I want to get Salida delivery and Taos delivered today. Otherwise, we will be spending the night in Taos for like 14 hours. By the time, if we get there at 5 o'clock, it's too late to unload. They open at 7, so there's the math. We don't want to do that. We want to be able to get those unloaded and then take our time cruising on over to... That's a lot of water coming out of that creek. Take our time going into Albuquerque. That way we get there tonight, unload first thing, and then I'm assuming we're going to run out to Farmington, New Mexico, pick up, alfalfa. And then either take it to Arizona or California. I don't know. They were talking about if we had a truck up in Boise, somebody's going to get a load going to New York, New York. I was like, man, I'd like to do that. And the guy goes, you're crazy. I'm like, I've never done it before. I've never been downtown New York City. I've heard all the stories. You don't ever want to go down. You don't ever want to go down there. Well, I know. You probably don't. But if you've never done it, what the heck? You gotta experience yourself. But I do my diligence. I do my research before even going in there, so I know what's going on. You're not going to see me on a highway that I need to call the cops to back me out of because of low-hanging bridge and all that other stuff. So I think if you know, and it's probably back in the days before the internet where it could be an issue, but the tools we have now, you can get your whole route planned out and know exactly where you're going, what's going on before you even get there. Anyway, see you in a bit. This guy, I tell you, busy looking at all the leaves and stuff like that, not really paying attention to the highway, going 45 in a 50. I go to pass him, speeds up. You can see that river's doing pretty good. Or creek. That's the North Platte. I don't know, I saw a sign there that said North Platte, South Platte. Like, how can you have that? This person's all over the highway. Speed limits all over the place. But if I go to pass it, it speeds up. See, so like these roads are my, this is what I'm used to. There's a lot of truck drivers are like, never experienced this too much, except for local guys like that boy right there. You know, like, I'll give you an example. JBG Travels, he doesn't do this too much. The minivan gonna impede us. We're doing 48. And look at that. That little minivan just decided to slow down. You know, I gotta hit my brakes. This is a part I hate about these drives sometimes. Down to 45 for no reason at all. But anyway, they're always out interstate, running the interstates. And this is where I did all my driving, in roads like this. Growing up, I should say. Growing up as a truck driver. These two people are about to drive me nuts. See what I mean? Their speeds keep bouncing back and forth. It's not steady at all. Finally, that minivan pulled over. Damn it, it was getting frustrating. Like, I don't care. Just do a steady speed limit. Why go 55, 60, 45, 40, 55, 60, back down? It's like, that is the worst. Oh man, that just irritates me tremendously. It's like, what are they doing? If you're not going someplace, you're just cruising around, then pull over. Why are you varying your speed so much? That's one thing that drives me insane, I think, is there's no consistency to them. I'm sorry, it does aggravate me and gets me a little bit pissed off. That's the drawback of being on the mountain roads, is you get those people that are just like there. They won't. I don't know. It's almost like they purposely get in front of you to block your path. Anyway, we're like 4 miles from Kenosha Pass. I gotta let it go. I will say this, at least that minivan had the mindset to eventually pull over. If you're gonna impede people, at least keep your mirrors and use them. At least have the courtesy. If you don't, then that's fine too, I suppose, but So anyway, like I was saying about being on these highways a lot, and also doing them in the winter, you get acclimated to it more so than a driver who's never done it. Somebody who's never done it and in the snow is going to go slow. And I just go with the flow, try to anyway. Some of these leaves have already been blown off. It was windy last few days. This is after that big 3-foot dump up in Montana. And this is Kenosha Pass. I'm sure that's all those cars are people fall color. That's what it is. Look at it. I've never seen it like this before. Everybody's up taking their peak chars. Figured on the weekends, but I guess all week long. For however long the leaves take to fall off. So one time I had to take an empty to Farmington, and I know that at the bottom of this hill is like the worst stretch right out there in front of us. And it was winter time, so it was wind and snow, and it wasn't snow from the air. It was cold though, but the wind was blowing snow across the highway. And when you're empty, you don't really want to be having a trailer in strong wind and then put snow underneath it. But I'm like, I get over here and I'm like, woohoo! I'm golden, no problems. Yeah, it didn't turn out that way. We didn't get in an accident or anything like that. We made it through. But I tell you what, I wish I would have filmed it. I actually should not have been, I shouldn't even been there. But I was too late. I was already committed. Once you're committed, you gotta then ride the storm out. But right in here is the area where it gets really nasty. This will get polished like glare ice. The wind will be coming from the right side and blowing to the left, or vice versa, and this stretch right here is just sheer ice. You have to really be careful right here. So anyway, I got through this. I'm like, woohoo! Well, down the road further, we got into patches where people actually had gone off the highway. State troopers were around, and the wind was blowing, and here I am with it empty, and I didn't want the wind to take my trailer and smack it into somebody coming in the oncoming traffic. So I had to keep it going. It's one of them ones where you have to keep your forward momentum, because as the wind pushes your trailer to the side, your forward momentum then pulls it right back behind you. If you go too slow, that trailer will just get, boom, slipped off to the side and smack into somebody. That's something that people don't know about winter driving. And you don't want to break traction on your tractor, because then you'll both go over. So you got to keep your forward momentum going, and you got to keep your foot into it. And man, there was some times where I was like quite shook. And it wasn't that I was just worried about my trailer hitting somebody. That's what I was worried about. But little town of Jefferson right here. Anyway, we got through it, no problem. Definitely a white knuckle. Definitely a white knuckle. And I wasn't scared so much as I was I don't know what the word for it is, more worried, I guess, than scared. I wasn't really scared, even though it was a scary situation. And like I said, up in here, up to about here, it was fine, but you start getting up over here, between here and Fairplay, and then after Fairplay, it was as well, but not as bad. That's what the problem with today is going to be. We got these Looky-loos. So they're Sunday driving. I'm doing the speed limit, which I'm going to be hampered here pretty soon. But anyway, we'll see you in a bit. 48 mile per hour in a 65. Now they're speeding up. So what this is with these people is distracted driving. That guy right there especially, man, I didn't film it because it was too insane. They're busy going, oh, look at this, oh, look at that, oh, look, oh. Well, they're not really driving. You know, they're not picking the leaves and they're looking at, oh, this, that. That is another form of distracted driving. They might not have something in their hand, but they definitely have something in their eyeballs. And they're not really paying attention. That's that. Can you imagine this on a weekend? Oh my God, it would be effing insane. All of them on the highway would be distracted. Hit the brakes just so I could shut that damn thing up. 52 mile an hour in a 65. I tried to get in front of that pickup, but not today. That's Fairplay off there to the distance at the 1 o'clock mark. I'll end this video here, and then I'll do some more. We're going to be in the mountains for a little bit, all the way to Taos. Instead of making one long video with parts, as parts are parts, we will just do short segments. No reason for this. Back down to 50. And I'm getting aggravated to boot. Anyway, don't worry, I'll let it go. I don't stress out that much. But thanks for riding shotgun. I appreciate it, and we'll be getting some more up here real quick. So I hope you enjoy. Peace.